And she said, these things, I want to go to as many of, I want to go to as many of these things of Joida's as I can, to somebody who will remember and will be able to identify her as one of the Stewart girls.
Let me interrupt you there because the camera wasn't running for a second or two when I thought it was. We're talking about a night on a Mother's Day when you and my dear grandmother Beulah got into the wine, and she talked with you more freely than she usually did about Joida, who had been her only daughter. And she said that one of her fears was that Joida would be forgotten, and you told her you would do all you could to make sure that didn't happen. And
she gave me a pin that Joida had given her and Joida's wedding band, and she said, I asked that I want you to wear this wedding band to someone. I want you to be married to someone who knew Joida. And would you believe that the most amazing thing happened? Now, we moved forward a lot, but my granddaughter was married to a man named Chandler, which was Joida's last name. And I had told them, I had written them a story of what we'd talked about that night, a page, a great long page, and we all had a good cry. And the Lisa was so touched. They already had their wedding bands. They weren't married yet.
Yeah. So I'm listening to you. So did Lisa do something with what happened to that wedding band then? Does Lisa have it?
Well, Lisa, it was too small for Lisa to wear, or she would have worn it instead of the one that they had bought for her to wear. But they were so touched by that they were determined to have her to use it some way in the wedding. And Lisa tied it with
ribbon,
blue ribbon over her heart.
Oh my gosh.
And we feel like we know her. And she and I know, boy, I've cried a bushel of tears over that. And Mom was so, and she had a couple of other little things that were, well, no, some of them were Phillips that had been saved that night. But she was so able to talk to me that night that she just poured her heart out. And of course it wore me out. I was so tired, and I woke the next day I thought I'd die. But she was able to be assured that I wouldn't forget Bill. He stayed around the family for a number of years. He died 3 years ago, and I didn't know it until after his funeral. He was in Henderson. And
did he ever marry someone else?
Willie Leakey read it in the paper, and she didn't clip it. I don't know what in the world kept her from doing that.
Now, did he marry someone else eventually?
I don't know, and I don't know what age he was. I can't remember. I think he was a little older than Joida, 3 or 4 years. But Mom was able to talk about it that night.
I wish she had talked about it to me when I was a young woman, but I guess
well, it wouldn't have been the same, but it would have been a different approach to something you want to say now. But Miss Jarvis was so sweet to hold her in my arms, and we weren't drunk either.
Right.
We had she had a good sized drink, which she never did, and she didn't put water in it that night, so that. But it just loosened her tongue. She wasn't.
Yeah.
And it made her recall things that she would not have thought of if she hadn't been. But once she started, she just poured it all out. And